Good morning and Jai Swaminarayan. Let us continue with our third chapter, data handling, exercise 3.3. In this exercise, you are going to learn about bar graphs which you have learned in your previous standards, like a single bar graph is there, right? And about double bar graph, like this. This is called double bar graph. Students, you don't have to prepare a separate graph book for this chapter. If you are having graph pages in your previous graph book, you can tear these pages and stick into your mathematics notebook. So let us start with our exercise 3.3. Now you can see in the textbook, here a bar graph is given. On x-axis there are various pet animals, that is dog, cat, rabbit, and on y-axis there are number of students, right? The question is asked, which is the most popular pet? So the bar which is having the highest height will be your answer. So the most popular pet is cat. Question number B, how many students have dogs as a pet? So here you can see this bar graph shows the number of dogs, that is 8 students are having dog as pet. Now question number 2, read the bar graph, that is bar graph is given over here, which shows the number of books sold by a bookstores during 5 consecutive years, and we have to answer the following questions. So on x-axis you can see number of years are given, and on y-axis number of books that are sold. Scale is taken as 1 centimeter is equal to 100 books, that is from 0 to 100 this is 1 centimeter. On bar graph on graph paper it is shown as 1 square. So you can see in 1989 less than 200 books are being sold. So let us move to question number 1, about how many books were sold in 1989, 1990 and 1992, right? So you can see from the bar graph that in the year 1989 about 200 books were sold approximate. In 1990 approximate 500 books were sold, and in 1992 approximate 250 books were sold. Question number 2, in which year were about 475 books sold? About 2 to 5 books were sold. So you can see in 1990 about 475 books were sold, and in year 1992 about 225 books were being sold. Question number 3, in which year were fewer books than 250 sold? So you can see in the graph book, that is in the year 1989 less than 250 books were sold, and the year 1992 less than 250 books were being sold. Fourth question, can you examine how you would estimate the number of books sold in 1989? So refer to the graph. From the graph it is clear that in the year 1989 about 200 books were being sold, right? This question you have to write in your graph paper like this. Question number 2 over here, right hand side, answers over here, and its related graph should be on the left hand side, that I have drawn over here. Here you can see your number of years are on x-axis, number of students are on y-axis, scale is given as 1 unit is equal to 100 books, and you have to draw the graph. Moving ahead to question number 3. In question number 3 we have to draw a bar graph, which you already know how to draw, right? So here 6 different classes have been given to you, right? You have to draw this table. In 5th standard number of children are 135, in 6th standard there are 120, and so on, right? So representing this table in graphical form, it will look like this. Number of classes are on x-axis, number of students are on y-axis. You can see over y-axis. Scale you can take 1 unit is equal to 10 children, right? Starting from 0 and marking on y-axis 1 unit is equal to 10 children, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and so on up till 140. Why 140? Because the maximum number of students in class 5th are 135. So maximum we have taken as 140. Now in class 5th there are 135 students. That is, after 1 square you can mark a bar graph of 5th standard representing it 135 students still like this, and you have to draw a bar. Again leaving 1 square, second bar of 6th standard which contain 120 student, you have to show like this, right? And so on, you can draw the remaining bars. Now question number A, how would you choose a scale? Right? You know very well that before choosing a scale we have to arrange the given data either in ascending order or in descending order. Then we have to choose the highest number from the given data. Here you can see the highest number is 135, the lowest number is 80. So we can choose a higher number from 135, that is 140. The scale ends. Use equal division along axis such as increment of 10. Here we can take 1 unit for 10 children. That is, we have already represented that on our bar graph. Question number B, 1. Which class has the maximum number of children and minimum? So you can see the maximum number of children are in 5th standard and the minimum number of children are in 10th standard. So the answer would be maximum number of children are in 5th class and the minimum number of children are in 10th class. Question number B, 1. Find the ratio of students of class 6th to the class 8th. Now you remember in our ratio and proportion chapter in standard 6th, right? The ratio that is to be counted, the formula is ratio is equal to number of students in class 6 upon number of students in class 8. That is 120 divided by 110. On reducing we will get 6 upon 5. Moving to question number 4. Right? Here in this question we will be drawing double bar graph, as here subjects are given and marks of first term and second term have been given over here. That is, in English, in first term a student has scored 67 marks and in second term he had scored 70 marks, and so on for different subjects. So on bar graph, subjects are to be written on x-axis, marks obtained by students are on y-axis, scale 1 unit is equal to 10 marks, right? So this first bar blank graph is for first term and this bar that is containing linings are of marks of second term. For English subject, in first term the students has scored 67 marks. So here on exactly 67 we have to draw a bar, right? For second term he had scored 70 marks, so we have drawn a bar showing 70 marks. And for all the subjects you have to draw the double bar like this only. Also, while showing the scale you have to represent this blank square represent first term and this lining square represents second term as shown in the bar graphs. Now moving to question number 1. In which subject has the child improved his performance of the most? Now you can see clearly from the bar graph that the child has improved its performance compared to first term and second term, right? In mathematics subject, here the gap is bigger one. So we can say in mathematics subjects the child has improved his performance. Now question number 2. In which subject is the improvement least? Right? Here you can see the difference between two bars which represent the marks for two terms. So here the difference is very less. So we can say in social science subject the improvement is the least. Now, has the performance gone down in any subject? Third question. So here you can see from first term to second term, the marks have been reduced. Right? He has scored less mark in second term. So in Hindi subject, the performance has gone down. Question number 5. This is also a question of double bar graph. Right? Different sports have been given, and number of participants who are watching and participating, number of audience who are watching and participating have been given over here. For example, cricket game, there are people who are watching cricket game are 1240, and who are participating in the game are 620. In basketball game, number of persons watching the game are 470, and number of persons participating in the game are 320, and so on. So the first bar that we will be drawing on graph paper will represent watching participants, and the second bar will be showing the participating persons in the game. Right? Like this you have to draw. Sports on x-axis, number of people on y-axis. Scale 1 unit is equal to 100 people, that is from 0, first square will be 100, 200, 300, and so on. Maximum number of people are 1240. So here we have to mark 1300 over here. Now, first sport is cricket. Right? In cricket, there are 1240 people who are watching the game. So I have drawn the graph till 1240, and the number of people who are participating in cricket are 620. So you can see clearly that a little bit above 600 I have drawn the graph. Similarly, for other games you have to draw like this. And also on scale, number of persons who are watching has to be represented as blank, and the number of persons who are participating has to be represented by this square containing line. Question number 6 you have to do by yourself as an homework. Hope this exercise is very easy for you. If you have any doubt regarding single bar graph or double bar graph, get back to me or write your queries on school mobile number. Right? Now moving ahead in this chapter, let us see about chance and probability. Now chance यानी क्या? Chance when you toss up a coin, जब आप coin उछालते हो तो head आए या tail आए तो चांस हो गए. दो ही चांस हैं, या तो हेड, एक ही चांस है, या तो हेड आएगा या तो टेल आएगा. राइट? उसे बोलते हैं चांस, यानी हो सकता है, नहीं भी हो सकता है. और व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय प्रोबेबिलिटी? नाउ प्रोबेबिलिटी इज द मेजरमेंट ऑफ अनसर्टेनिटी, यानी हो सकता, नहीं हो सकता है, ऐसा है. राइट? आपको ये टॉपिक जैसे जैसे हम सम सॉल्व करेंगे वैसे आपको माइंड में क्लियर होता जाएगा. राइट? इसके लिए आपको सेपरेट नोट्स भेजे जाएंगे पीडीएफ फाइल में, जो आपको अपने नोटबुक में लिखने रहेंगे. राइट? सो यू कैन सी प्रोबेबिलिटी इज द मेजरमेंट ऑफ अनसर्टेनिटी. नाउ प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ अकरेंस ऑफ इवेंट. राइट? कुछ भी होना होता है तो नंबर ऑफ केसेस फेवरेबल टू इवेंट और टोटल नंबर ऑफ पॉसिबल केसेस, ये प्रोबेबिलिटी की डेफिनेशन हो गई या उसकी फॉर्मूला हो गई. राइट? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, मूविंग अहेड टू एक्सरसाइज 3.4, यू आर ओल्डर टुडे देन येस्टरडे. राइट? क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 में तो क्या वो 100% होना है? तो येस, सर्टन टू हैपन, होना ही है. अ टॉस कॉइन विल लैंड हेड्स अप. राइट? टॉस कॉइन, यानी कॉइन जब आप उछालते हो तो नीचे ज़मीन पे तो गिरना है, मगर हमेशा उसमें हेड आएगा तो ज़रूरी नहीं है. यानी कैन हैपन बट नॉट सर्टन, हो सकता है मगर ज़रूरी नहीं है. थर्ड, अ डाई व्हेन टॉस शैल लैंड अप विथ 8 ऑन टॉप. अब डाई जब आप उछालते हो तो उसके ऊपर टॉप में 8 आता है, तो ऐसा इवेंट हो ही नहीं सकता, क्योंकि डाइज में आता है 1 to 6 नंबर, 8 नंबर उसके अंदर आता ही नहीं है, यानी उसका आंसर आएगा इम्पॉसिबल. क्वेश्चन नंबर 4, द नेक्स्ट ट्रैफिक सिग्नल सीन विल बी ग्रीन. हो सकता है ग्रीन हो, रेड हो या येलो हो. दैट मीन्स कैन हैपन बट नॉट सर्टन. क्वेश्चन नंबर 5, टुमारो विल बी अ क्लाउडी डे. राइट? क्लाउडी डे हो सकता है और नहीं भी हो सकता है, यानी कैन हैपन बट नॉट सर्टन. नाउ क्वेश्चन नंबर 2, You have to read this question from your textbook. Now, 6 marbles in a box with numbers 1 to 6 are marked on each. What is the probability of drawing a marble with number 2? Right, there are 6 marbles, so the possible outcomes will be 1 2 3 4 5 6. आपको ये सेट के फॉर्म में लिखना है. Probability of drawing a marble with number 2, यानी नंबर 2 तो एक ही है, यानी हो सकता है 1/6 विल बी द प्रोबेबिलिटी. यहाँ पे 6 क्या है, तो टोटल नंबर ऑफ नंबर्स दैट आर गिवन ऑन दी मार्बल्स, फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड फोर्थ फिफ्थ एंड 6. सो टोटल नंबर आर 6 पॉसिबल आउटकम्स, मगर उसमें से हमको क्या लेना है, 2 नंबर. तो इसलिए नंबर ऑफ केसेस फेवरेबल टू इवेंट विल बी 1, यानी 1/6. प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ ड्राइंग अ मार्बल विथ नंबर 5 भी एक ही बार है और टोटल नंबर ऑफ आउटकम 6 है, यानी वो भी आंसर आएगा 1/6. क्वेश्चन नंबर 3. A coin is flipped to decide which team starts the game. What is the probability that your team will start? Right? या कॉइन को अगर उछालेंगे तो 2 ही पॉसिबिलिटीज़ है, या तो हेड आएगा या तो टेल आएगा. राइट, यानी उसको हमने पॉसिबल आउटकम्स इन ब्रैकेट हेड और टेल लिखा है. नाउ प्रोबेबिलिटी की फॉर्मूला क्या है, तो नंबर ऑफ फेवरेबल केसेस अपॉन टोटल नंबर ऑफ केसेस. नाउ नंबर ऑफ फेवरेबल केसेस हेड या टेल आए, उसमें से कोई भी एक ही आ सकता है, यानी 1, और टोटल नंबर ऑफ केसेस आर 2, 1 हेड एंड सेकंड विल बी टेल, दैट इज 1/2. आई विल बी सेंडिंग यू the solutions along with this video in PDF form. You have to write all these in your mathematics notebook. The next chapter which we are going to start will be lines and angles, chapter number 5. Okay, bye bye for now and take care.